Discover the incredible reason why baby puppy Ginger was late to school 5 days in a row. Mia Thompson stood at the edge of the muddy playground, her heart pounding with embarrassment. Every morning, she watched the other dog owners smile and chat, while her little golden retriever, Ginger, wove through the crowd, finding her way to the training class only after everyone else had arrived. Mia could feel the whispers echoing around her, judgment hanging in the air. Was it the pandemic that had affected them so hard? Or was it just the puppy getting lost on her way? The notion stung. The bakery, Mia's family's pride, had fallen on tough times. The sweet aroma of cinnamon rolls and warm loaves had given way to the quieter scent of worry and uncertainty. Her parents worked late into the night, trying to salvage what they had, while Mia took solace in the playful nudges and wagging tail of Ginger. The puppy, with her golden fur glistening under the sun, seemed to radiate pure joy when she was around. Yet, with every late arrival to school, Mia's confidence shrank. Each time the trainer raised an eyebrow, or someone chuckled indiscreetly, Mia felt that knot in her stomach tighten. The pressure bubbled to the surface. "You should take her to that charity event. It might help," a well-meaning neighbor suggested with a smile. But all Mia could see was spectating eyes waiting for another mishap. What if Ginger was late again? Her cheeks flushed with fear of ridicule. Was it wrong to wish her best friend was perfect, at least in the eyes of others? Then, everything shifted one sunny afternoon. While on a routine walk, an elderly neighbor stumbled, teetering on the edge of falling. Ginger sprang into action, dashing forward, her bark ringing through the air, with an agility that Mia never knew she had. Ginger redirected the woman away from danger, earning gasps and cheers from onlookers. Mia felt a warmth spread through her chest as she rushed forward, pride pushing aside her previous embarrassment. This wasn't just a puppy. Ginger was a hero. Mia realized that those late arrivals meant nothing compared to this moment of bravery. They were not failures. They were a part of an adventure that only Ginger could navigate. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now, let's continue. Suddenly, Mia found herself at a crossroads. Would she continue to let others diminish her and Ginger's bond with their harsh judgments? Or would she stand firm, rallying her parents and town around this story of love and evaluation that was worth far more than public opinion? She could feel the transformative power of courage building within her. As they approached the charity event, Mia took a deep breath. The air buzzed with uncertainty, but there was also a newfound hope. Would their community see Ginger's shining heart and the strength of their family? And as they prepared, her mind swirled with anticipation. Would love and loyalty be enough to break through the harshness of judgment? Or would they remain trapped in quiet disdain? The question lingered, heavy and sweet like sugar in the air, waiting to unfold. The charity event was a whirl of colors and sounds. A vibrant tapestry woven with laughter, barks, and the clinks of busy concession stands. Mia squeezed Ginger's leash, her heart racing. This was the moment. As they approached the community center, adorned with balloons, she noticed families milling about, their dogs prancing beside them. Each canine seemed to immediately capture attention: sleek hounds, fluffy poodles, and dressed-up terriers. But Mia felt a wave of doubt wash over her. Ginger, with her goofy gait and untamed fur, was so different. "Let's find a good spot," Mia said, forcing a smile as she scanned the crowd. Ginger wagged her tail, oblivious to the weight of Mia's insecurities. They stopped near a colorful banner that read, "Pause for a cause. Look, Mommy." A little girl pointed at Ginger. "That puppy is so fluffy." Mia turned to see the girl's delight, and a part of her lightened. Maybe Ginger was more special than she realized. But as Mia stepped back to engage with the event, she overheard a couple of parents whispering nearby, "Did you see? That's the puppy that's always late." Can't believe they brought her here. Mia felt hot tears prickle at the corners of her eyes. She should have never come. But as she looked down at Ginger, who was sniffing the ground and wagging her tail in excitement, something inside her stirred. This was not just about other people's opinions. It was about her bond with Ginger. "Come on, girl," she whispered, determination creeping back in. "Let's show them who you really are." Mia led Ginger toward a small area set up for doggy agility. It was a series of hoops and jumps, a chance for dogs to demonstrate their skills. The instructor called out, "Who wants to go first?" Mia hesitated. Would Ginger even know what to do? A light push of Ginger's nose against her hand sparked confidence in Mia. "We'll give it a shot." As they stepped up, the crowd turned to watch. Ginger seemed to sense the tension, her tail still waving, but her body wiggled with excitement. The instructor encouraged Mia, demonstrating what to do. Just call her, and she'd follow. Taking a deep breath, Mia shouted, "Ginger, come!" In that instant, Ginger took off. She zoomed through the first hoop, gleefully wagging her tail. Mia's heart raced with joy. Ginger quickly jumped over the next obstacle, gliding through the course like she'd been born for it. Gasps filled the air, and Mia's pride swelled. Cheering erupted from the crowd, their laughter and claps ringing louder than the whispers of doubt. Mia looked around, thrill bubbling within her. This was the moment she dreamed of. This was her dog. Finishing with one last leap that knocked over a small cone, Ginger trotted back to Mia, panting happily. The audience burst into applause. She did it! What a superstar! Someone remarked, and Mia couldn't help but beam. Suddenly, the air felt electric. Mia whispered to Ginger, "You're amazing." But just as Mia took a moment to celebrate, a commotion interrupted the cheering. A large dog, barking and lunging, broke free from its owner and barreled towards them. Time seemed to slow. Ginger's ears perked up, sensing the shift around her, and within a heartbeat. Mia felt a rush of fear mixed with an overwhelming trust in her pup. Would Ginger stand up to this challenge? As the rushing dog closed in, Mia's heart raced. Would Ginger rise to this new test of bravery? Or would they face yet another trial where judgment loomed? The answer would determine not just this moment but their journey ahead. Mia's heart pounded in her chest, an electric mix of fear and hope spiraling through her veins. The large dog was barreling toward them, its muscles tense with excitement as it barked, seemingly unaware of its surroundings. The air crackled with tension, and Mia felt every pair of eyes in the crowd on them, their anticipation thick enough to cut. "Ginger, stay," Mia called, holding her breath. She wanted to protect her pup, but in that moment, she also felt a glimmer of trust. Ginger had surprised her before. Could she do it again? The oncoming dog, a robust boxer, darted closer. It bounded through the air, and Mia steeled herself for the impact. Just as she thought Ginger might cower, her little pup stood tall, bracing herself, tail still wagging in an unexpected show of confidence. "Come on, Ginger," Mia urged, her voice slicing through the panic. With a surprising burst of courage, Ginger stepped forward, barking back at the boxer in a feisty yet playful manner. The crowd gasped, some stepping back in shock, while others let out a collective cheer for the underdog, a funny, fluffy hero in their midst. Ginger's playful demeanor seemed to momentarily confuse the mobbing boxer. It paused, uncertain, and that's when Mia seized the moment. "Get her, Ginger." With a leap, Ginger dashed toward the boxer, initiating a playful romp instead of chaos. The crowd erupted in laughter and cheers as Ginger danced around the boxer, tail wagging like a proud banner. Mia couldn't help but laugh, relief washing over her. This wasn't just a test of bravery for Ginger. It was a display of heart and spirit. She watched in awe as they met, the two dogs engaging in a joyous dance of friendly barks and wagging tails. The large dog seemed to recognize the playfulness in Ginger's approach, and soon they were rolling and tumbling around in a field of laughter. "Look at them go!" someone exclaimed from the audience. Mia's cheeks flushed with pride. The whispers she'd overheard earlier faded away, replaced by shouts of encouragement and genuine joy. However, at the back of her mind, doubt still lurked. This was only one moment. What would happen when the next challenge arose? Suddenly, apprehension seeped back in as another sound broke through the jubilation. A whistle shrilled out, signaling the end of the agility demonstration and moving the focus back onto the contest itself. "All right, everyone. It's time for an obstacle course runoff. The winner will take home a special prize." Mia turned to Ginger, who was now panting with excitement, her goofy grin infectious. The energy in the air shifted, and opportunity danced just a step ahead of them. "What do you think, girl? Are you ready for more?" With a resolute glint in her eyes, Ginger seemed to answer with a soft yip, truly embodied the spirit of perseverance. The crowd had seen Ginger's unique charm, but the looming contest threatened to bring back uncertainties. Would they be faced with expectations again? How would they measure up in this new challenge? As the next set of contestants assembled, Mia and Ginger stood just outside the arena, the world of colors and sounds swirling around them. Mia felt the weight of anticipation and heartbeat quickening, nurturing hope inside her. "Let's go show them what we've got." "Side?" But just as they prepared to step forward, a familiar face appeared in the crowd, and Mia's heart sank. What if this face came with judgments and memories she wasn't ready to confront? How would she and Ginger navigate this emotional maze together? Mia's breath hitched as she locked eyes with the familiar face. It was Lily, her childhood friend, with her beaming smile that had always lit up a room. But today, that smile felt like a weight, pressing down on Mia's chest. Memories flooded her, mind laughter shared on long summer days, but also moments filled with fears and misunderstandings. Lily strolled through the crowd, her fluffy, golden retriever trotting happily by her side. Mia's heart raced. Would Lily recognize the fear and uncertainty that hovered around Mia and Ginger? Would she remember the times Mia doubted herself, the whispers of inadequacy that had branded her for too long? Ginger, sensing Mia's tension, nudged her leg, tilting her head with curiosity. "Okay, girl. Let's focus," Mia whispered to her pup, drawing strength from the little dog's unwavering spirit. As the announcer called the first few contestants for the obstacle course, Mia straightened her back and stepped forward, pushing through the recognition of long-held fears. She had to remember the joyful spirit Ginger brought to their lives. This was not just a contest. It was a chance to show what they could become together. With one last look, Mia approached Lily, who was now standing a mere few feet away. "Hey," Mia managed to say, her voice steadier than she felt. "Wow, look at Ginger. She's grown so much," Lily exclaimed, genuinely delighted. Mia couldn't help but smile at the softness in her friend's eyes. Maybe today wasn't about past judgments. It was about reconnection and proving to herself how far she had come. "Thanks. She's been amazing," Mia replied, eyes brightening as she watched Ginger wobble with excitement, ready for the course. "We're thinking of giving it a shot." Lily nodded, her golden retriever's tail wagging in rhythm with Ginger's. "You've got this, Mia. Just remember, it's all about having fun." Just then, the bark of the starting horn sliced through the chatter, startling both dogs. Crowds erupted in cheers as contestants began to tackle the course. With a deep breath, Mia stepped up, firmly holding onto Ginger's leash. "Let's go," Mia said, her voice crackling with determination. Ginger bolted forward, a blur of excitement as they faced the first few obstacles, a tiny jump followed by a weave of cones. Mia focused on Ginger's movements, reading her cues as she navigated the course. "Easy, girl," she encouraged, her heart swelling with pride. As they rounded the first corner, Mia felt an unexpected rush. The adrenaline surged, pushing away the lingering shadows of doubt. With every obstacle they conquered, the cheers became more intense. Mia's laugh mingled with the crowd's encouragement, igniting a warmth in her chest. But halfway through the course, Ginger hesitated, glancing back at a large tunnel before them. Mia's heart sank briefly. "It's okay, Ginger. We can do this together," she coaxed, remembering the earlier moment with Lily, how encouragement could lift spirits. Ginger took a step back, then charged forward, leaping into the tunnel with an infectious energy that had Mia bursting into a full grin. The crowd roared, and in that moment, Mia's worries faded. They were unlikely heroes challenging the odds, together. However, as they emerged from the tunnel, a piercing yelp filled the air, halting all movement. Mia's heart skipped a beat. She turned just in time to see a scuffle break up between two larger dogs nearby. Tension swirled as the crowd gasped, eyes peeling away from the course to witness the unfolding chaos. What would this mean for Mia and Ginger? Would their moment of triumph be overshadowed by fear once again? Mia's heart raced as she turned to face the commotion. The yelp of one of the dogs sent shockwaves of panic through her. A curly-haired terrier had lunged at a bearded collie, teeth bared in a frantic display of fear. The crowd's casual excitement shifted, morphing into concern and worry. Mia tightened her grip on Ginger's leash, a feeling of vulnerability creeping in. "Stay close, Ginger," she whispered. Though the little golden retriever was already on high alert, her ears perked up and muscles tensed, the chaos unfolded just a few yards away. Owners rushed forward, trying to separate the dogs, their voices rising above the unexpected cacophony. "Easy, easy." One man shouted, clearly agitated, while a woman pleaded for her dog to return to her side. Mia felt her own anxiety tightening her chest like a vice. In that moment, memories of earlier struggles flickered in her mind. The times she had shied away from confrontation, the moments she felt inadequate and alone. But as she looked down at Ginger, who was still resolute, a surge of confidence washed over her. They could face this together. "Come on, girl, let's navigate around this," Mia said. Ginger seemed to sense the urge in her tone, tail still wagging, looking up at her with encouragement. As they circled the chaos, Mia could see Lily on the other side of the obstacle course, her face etched with worry. Without thinking, Mia summoned every ounce of bravery she could muster. She raised her voice above the clamor, calling out to Lily, "Let me help." Lily's eyes met Mia's, and in that moment, the weight of their shared childhood and the bonds they had formed flickered brightly. "Are you sure?" Lily shouted back, her expression caught between hope and fear. "I have too," Mia replied. This was bigger than her doubts. With determination, she stepped between Ginger and the ongoing scuffle. As she did, Ginger instinctively pressed her body close to Mia's, grounding her. The little dog's warmth gave Mia the steadiness she craved. "Easy, all of you. Let's just calm down." Mia darted forward to help separate the battling dogs, calmness spilling from her voice despite the chaos. She reached out her hand, her heart pounding, and slowed her breath. In that space she felt like she was bridging the gap between her childhood fears and her present courage. After a few tense moments, she managed to grab hold of the terrier's collar as another dog owner caught the collie. The two dogs were eventually pulled apart, their owners visibly shaken, yet relieved. The crowd's tension began to ease, laughter and applause breaking through as everyone accepted the calm that returned. "Great job." Lily rushed over, her relief apparent. "You were amazing." For the first time in a long time, Mia felt like she was indeed capable. Maybe today was about more than just the obstacle course. Perhaps it was also about breaking through what had held her back for so long. But just as Mia soaked in the moment, something wide-eyed caught her peripheral vision. A little girl, no older than 6, stood frozen, wide-eyed and trembling, her tiny puppy scrambling to her feet as the earlier chaos began to fade. Mia's heart dropped. What if she was scared now? What if Mia could help her, just as she'd helped those dogs? "Hey there." Mia knelt down, smiling reassuringly. "It's okay. They're not going to hurt anyone anymore. Would you like to join us?" Curiosity flickered in the little girl's eyes, but fear still clung tightly. Would she find the courage to trust Mia's words? Would Mia's newfound bravery help the next generation reclaim their joy, just as she had? The question lingered, echoing Mia's own journey of transformation, holding the weight of possibility just within reach. Mia held her breath, waiting for the little girl to reply. She felt the weight of their shared experience hanging in the air, heavy yet hopeful. The crowd around them buzzed with energy, but in that moment, it was just Mia, the girl, and their hesitant puppies. "Are you scared?" Mia asked gently, her voice barely above a whisper. The girl's small puppy fidgeted, glancing nervously at the commotion. Mia smiled, hoping to offer a sense of safety. With a small nod, the girl said they were barking so loud. Mia knelt lower, trying to meet her gaze. I know, sweetie. But it's okay now. The dogs are okay, you're okay. She reached out a hand, palm open, inviting. What's your name? Leela, the girl murmured, her small voice cracking slightly. That's a beautiful name, Leela. My name is Mia. She gestured to Ginger, who was wagging her tail, eager to befriend the puppy. This is Ginger. Wanna come over and meet her? She's super friendly. Leela hesitated, her eyes darting down to her little puppy. The longer she stayed still, the tighter her grip on the leash became. I don't know. Let's do it together, Mia encouraged, her heart swelling with a mix of empathy and determination. We can walk slowly. Ginger loves meeting new friends. After a moment, the girl's curiosity took over. Ginger's cheerful panting seemed to weave a spell of calm around them. The little girl took a baby step, then another, her puppy mirroring her cautious movements. That's it. Mia cheered, feeling a thrill of hope. You're doing great, Leela. As they got closer, Ginger flopped herself down on the grass, tail thumping gently against the ground. It was like she knew the little girl needed reassurance. Leela's eyes widened, and a smile crept onto her face, breaking through the tension. Leela knelt down and gingerly reached out her small hand. Ginger approached, sniffing curiously, before giving Leela a careful lick on her fingers. The girl squealed with delight, the fear melting away like ice on a sunny day. See? All you need is a little trust, Mia said, her own heart soaring as Leela began to giggle, her joy ringing out like music in the park. Watching this transformation unfold before her was magical. This was the support she had always yearned for, but had only begun to discover in herself. Mia felt a wave of gratitude wash over her as she turned to Ginger, planting a gentle kiss on her forehead. You did amazing, girl. The two girls were now lost in a world of delighted laughter and wagging tails. Their playful interaction drew the attention of others nearby, smiles warming faces all around. Look, they're best friends already. One of the onlookers exclaimed, joining in on the joy. Suddenly, just as Mia thought the day couldn't get any better, a burst of commotion erupted from the far side of the park. A large Doberman began barking loudly, drawing everyone's attention back into the whirlwind of excitement. The owner, a tall man who looked just as frantic as the dogs earlier, scrambled to regain control of his spirited pet. Mia's stomach dropped as she realized the scene might send Leela into a panic all over again. Could she help again? Leela, stay right here with Ginger. Mia called out as instinct kicked in once more. She wasn't done yet. She dashed toward the chaos, heart racing, ready to face whatever came next. But in the back of her mind, a pressing worry gnawed at her. Would her courage hold? Would she stumble once more under pressure? With the weight of every prior experience pushing her forward, Mia braced herself, knowing one thing: today wasn't over. The real test was still ahead. Mia pushed through the crowd, her heart pounding as she spotted the Doberman. The dog was larger than any other she had seen, its powerful frame tense and quivering with energy. The man, holding the leash, struggled to regain control, his face betraying a mix of frustration and fear. Hey, buddy, Mia called, trying to reach the owner, You need to calm your dog down. She could see the panic in the eyes of those around her. The box was sharp and aggressive, sending shocks through the cheerful atmosphere just moments ago. Leela's laughter had transformed into a thin, hesitant whisper. "Mia," she said, clutching Ginger's leash harder. Mia threw a quick glance back at them. "Stay with Ginger." "You're safe." The words tumbled out, but she wasn't certain they would hold. She wasn't sure if her own heart could calm down either. The urge to flee was strong, yet she felt a pull, a need to act not just for herself, but for Leela. As she closed the distance to the frantic scene, she spotted a small crowd gathering, each face reflecting the anxiety rippling through the park. The man was becoming increasingly frantic, calling out to the Doberman, who had fixated on a nearby squirrel darting up a tree. "Let me help." Mia shouted again, her voice a beacon above the chorus of chaos. With every step, she focused on the Doberman, trying to predict its movements. She remembered something her older brother had taught her about dogs. They respond to calmness. Taking a deep breath, she dropped her shoulders, lowering her body into a relaxed stance. She held out her hand, palm facing up, a universal sign of peace. "Hey there, big guy," she murmured, her heart hammering. "It's okay. You're all right." The Doberman's ears perked up, his barking faltering as he caught her eye. "Keep going, Mia," someone from the crowd shouted, and she felt that wave of encouragement wash over her, even amidst all the tension. She took another step forward, matching the dog's gaze, keeping her voice soft but firm. "You're strong, and you can be calm. Just breathe with me." The words were a lifeline, and it felt like they hung in the air between them. The owner, finally regaining composure, pulled gently on the leash. "Easy, buddy, come on." With Mia's steady presence, the Doberman began to relax, its chest rising and falling in rhythm. Slowly, its hackles lowered, and the frantic barking subsided to a low growl. The man offered an apologetic smile as he tightened his grip on the leash. As the dog began to settle, Mia turned back to Leela and Ginger, who were watching in awe. Just like that, the joy returned to the little girl's eyes. "You did it!" Leela shouted, her face lighting up with excitement. Mia felt a rush of warmth. "We did it together," she replied, beaming back at her. With the Doberman now calm, people began to disperse, chatter and laughter slowly replacing the anxiety of earlier. The atmosphere shifted, much like the weather changed with the seasons. Mia returned to Leela, who was bouncing on her feet with Ginger bouncing beside her. "Isn't that amazing? You helped save the day." But as Mia knelt to catch her breath, a sense of unease crept in. She could still hear the distant whispers of the crowd, now curious and questioning. "What if this happens again?" Leela said softly, her eyes glimmering with worry. Mia hesitated, caught between wanting to reassure the girl and her own lingering fears. "You know, Leela, sometimes we can't control what happens around us. But we can always control how we respond." Just then, the sound of an urgent bark caught their attention again, this time from the park's far end. Another dog. Mia lifted her head, her senses sharpening. The day had been a whirlwind of unexpected emotions. And suddenly it felt like the universe was sending her a sign that her courage was about to be tested once more. What awaited them now? Would she be able to face whatever came next? Mia's heart raced as the new bark echoed through the park, jolting her from her thoughts. It sounded deeper, more menacing than the last. She stood, hand instinctively gripping Leela's shoulder, their eyes searching for the source. The crowd was now drawn again, their cheerful chatter replaced by murmurs of alarm. Mia glanced around, noting the tension building. As if by some unseen force, a young golden retriever burst through the bushes, its energy uncontained, zooming across the grass with wild abandon. It was a ball of golden fur, barking excitedly, unaware of the growing anxiety in the air. "Not again," Mia whispered. She could feel Leela tense beside her, the girl's fingers tightening around Ginger's leash. "Do you think he'll do something bad?" Leela asked, her voice small and shaky. "Let's see," Mia said, her mind racing. Should they stay and watch? Should they intervene? The golden retriever continued its joyful sprint, completely oblivious to the chaos it could cause. With the previous situation still fresh in their minds, Mia took a step closer to the energetic dog. "Come on, let's just watch for a second," she encouraged Leela, who still seemed uncertain. As the golden retriever raced toward a group of children playing with a frisbee, Mia's heart sank. Faces frozen in surprise shifted to panic as the puppy barreled toward them, tongue lolling and tail wagging. Mia recalled the Doberman's earlier frenzy and felt a wave of worry wash over her. No, no, no. But instead of causing a ruckus, the golden retriever skidded to a stop just before reaching the group. It plopped down onto the grass, playfully rolling onto its back, inviting scratches. The kids burst into laughter, fully caught up in the retriever's contagious joy. Mia's heart steadied. Maybe this one knew how to channel its energy into laughter instead of panic. See that? She nodded at Leela, who adjusted her grip on Ginger's leash, peeking through the crowd. "Can we go play too?" Leela's eyes sparkled with excitement, a stark contrast to her earlier worry. "Let's take it slow," Mia replied. They watched as some of the parents cautiously approached the playful dog and began to interact. People seemed to relax, smiles breaking through the earlier fear. Encouraged by the shift in atmosphere, Mia nudged Leela again. "How about we go and see if we can make friends with that pup?" With a determined nod, Leela followed Mia, her small feet moving quickly across the grass. They joined the growing group, laughter spilling over as they were swept into the happy chaos. Ginger took a cautious step forward, intrigued by the new friend's playful antics. Just then, a familiar figure caught her eye. It was the owner of the golden retriever, rushing over with concern etched across her face. "I'm so sorry," she exclaimed, breathless and frazzled. "He got away from me again. I thought I could trust him to just stay." Mia felt a squeeze in her chest. What did it mean to love something so fiercely, yet feel it slipping through your fingers? She approached the woman, sensing the weight of shared understanding and empathy. "It's all right," Mia said gently. "He seems to love meeting everyone here." A smile passed between them, a thread woven tighter by the chaos of the day. "Thank you," the woman said, finally starting to smile. "But I'm worried he's going to get hurt or cause trouble." "Maybe he just needs a little help learning boundaries," Mia suggested. "We can all keep an eye out for him." As laughter erupted around them, Mia felt a warm glow inside. Maybe today was not just about courage in the face of chaos, but also about connection and understanding. Just then, an idea began blooming in her mind, something that could truly help both the retriever and the community. But what would it take to turn this moment of chaos into an opportunity for everyone? Would she have the courage to share her idea? These thoughts spun through Mia's head, urging her forward. The golden retriever rolled over once more, its happy, barking echoing in the park as friendship and joy began to stitch the day back together. Mia took a deep breath, feeling the pull of something bigger than just one day at the park, a chance to truly make a difference. Would she seize the moment? Mia's heart raced as excitement welled up inside her, a whirlwind of possibilities swirling in her mind. The golden retriever, the boyish little creature with a sun-kissed coat, seemed to radiate energy as he darted between children, barking cheerfully. It was contagious. A spark ignited in the crowd. Laughter filled the air like music, and for a moment, the earlier tension faded into the backdrop. "Look at them!" Leela shouted, completely transformed, her worries forgotten. She took a step closer, her fingers relaxing from holding Ginger's leash so tightly. Mia watched, a smile creeping onto her lips. Perhaps this was the moment she had been waiting for, an opportunity to bring people together. "Why don't we play a game?" Mia suggested, turning to face the owner of the golden retriever. "What if we organize a little event? Something fun that could help our furry friends and their owners learn how to play nicely and safely." The woman, who introduced herself as Sarah, nodded slowly, her eyes reflecting hope. "You really think they'd like that?" "Absolutely," Mia said, gaining more confidence. "We could set it up for this weekend, a doggy playdate fest. Lots of games, and maybe a friendly competition to see who's the best at obeying commands. We could give out treats or ribbons for the winners." Leela clapped her hands, her eyes sparkling. "Yes, that sounds amazing. We can ask everyone in the park. Maybe even invite some local pet shops to join in." A ripple of enthusiasm swept through the small crowd that had gathered around them. More parents began to chime in, sharing ideas on how they could help, whether through donating prizes or spreading the word. The golden retriever barked with excitement, caught up in the energy. As if he too understood he was the catalyst for this blossoming event. Mia's mind raced with details. They could set up a list of fun games, fetch, obstacle courses, and maybe even a small doggy fashion show. "We can create different zones in the park," she said aloud, picturing it all. "One for big dogs, one for little ones, and some grassy areas for the shy pups who just want to hang out." Ginger tugged at Leela's leash, seeming to perk up at the idea of more company. She was ready to join in the fun, and it made Mia feel a warmth busting through her chest, the feeling of making connections, of finding a purpose. But just as Mia began to feel everything falling into place, she noticed a shadow creeping back onto Sarah's face. "I don't want anyone to think I'm irresponsible for letting my dog run off like that," she said softly, biting her lip. "What if they blame me?" Mia stepped closer, placing a hand on Sarah's shoulder. "I get it, really. But this could be more than just a fun day. It could be about teaching us all how to be better together. We all make mistakes." As the conversations around her grew louder with excitement, Mia felt that familiar squeeze again in her chest, not just for Sarah, but for everyone. Come to think of it, this event could be a chance for others to share their own stories and learn from one another. A chance to turn worry and doubt into laughter and community. Just then, the golden retriever broke away from Leela and rushed toward a pond in the park, plopping down to splash in the water. Laughter erupted again, this time more relaxed, more understanding. Do we really have to protect each other? Or can we just embrace the wildness too? Mia thought, a feeling of resolve beginning to settle within her. But in the midst of the excitement, a shadow of doubt lurked. What if they couldn't pull it off? What if someone got hurt? Mia took a deep breath. She couldn't let fear govern. She was ready to step into the unknown, but the real question loomed: was everyone else? Let's meet back here tomorrow to start planning. She called out, her heart pounding with a mix of trepidation and hope. As the group began to disperse, the idea of the park filling with laughter, joy, and wagging tails solidified in her mind. But would they really come together, or would the worries intertwine them in knots again? Mia felt a surge of determination. The excitement wasn't just about the event, it was about leaving the fears behind. The sun dipped low in the sky, casting a warm, golden light across the park. Mia couldn't help but wonder if this was just the beginning of something magical. Would her dream of community be realized, or would the shadows of doubt hold them back? The day of the event dawned bright and beautiful, rays of sun shimmering through the trees like confetti. Mia stood at the park entrance, heart racing with nervous excitement. This was it. The culmination of hope and courage, a chance to reshape everything they had worked for. Families began to trickle in, carrying leashes and bright smiles. With her checklist in hand, Mia waved to Leela and her mother, who approached, the golden retriever bounding joyfully beside them. "You made it!" Mia shouted, and in that moment, a wave of warmth washed over her. Ginger pranced around, tail wagging, soaking in every ounce of attention from the crowd. It was like their little team had something more than just dog training events. The energy of shared excitement crackled in the air. "Look at everyone. This is amazing." E Lila squiuige sapeixon. Codrimó. As the morning rolled on, dogs galloped through courses and their owners cheered with unrestrained joy. Mia watched as pups leaped over hurdles, tackled tunnels, and bounced around in delight. Laughter and barks echoed in harmony, greeting every hesitant child and nervous dog at the entrance. Mia found herself at the heart of the event, announcing each game with growing confidence. "And now, let's see who can fetch the fastest." She cheered, her breath shaky yet filled with thrill. The crowd erupted into applause, mingled with giggles from the little ones. Then, out of the corner of her eye, she spotted Sarah, the owner of the golden retriever who had started it all. Sarah was chatting animatedly with another dog owner, a genuine smile lighting up her face. It filled Mia with joy to see that the worries had begun to fade. "Mia, come here," Sarah called, waving her arms. "You won't believe what happened. My dog just got a ribbon for the best fetcher." Her laughter was contagious, and Mia beamed. Together, they moved through the crowd, sharing stories of their dogs and their victories, and Mia felt her heart swell. Not just for the ribbons, but for the transformation happening all around them. Despite the initial fears, the entire community had come together not just for their dogs, but for one another. But it was when the surprise agility challenge began that everything truly shifted. Mia felt her pulse quicken again with a mix of nerves and excitement. Ginger was selected to lead the way, joined by Leela and her golden retriever. "Ready, set, go." Mia shouted, and just like that, it was as if the world dissolved into the background. All that mattered was the laughter, the barking, and the pure thrill of the moment. Ginger bounded through the course with undeniable spirit, flinging herself over jumps and weaving expertly through cones. Mia's voice rang out in encouragement, and the crowd responded with an electrifying cheer. Every leap and tumble wove a tapestry of triumph that transcended their tricky pasts. Finally, as they reached the end of the course, Mia's heart soared. The audience erupted in applause, and tears prickled at the corners of her eyes. Ginger and Leela's dog crossed the finish line in a triumphant flourish, their tails wagging like flags of victory. In that moment, Mia realized that this day was not just a celebration of their puppy's skills, but also of their own journeys learning to trust, to love unconditionally, and to face the surrounding world with courage. As the last ribbons were awarded, Mia stood at the center of the crowd, the laughter echoing like a warm embrace. It hit her she wasn't just Mia Thompson, the girl with a late puppy. She was the girl who brought a community together, who ignited joy and connection. "Thank you all for coming today," she said, her voice ringing strong. "You are all amazing, and together, we've shown that love and kindness are what truly matter. Let's keep this spirit alive all day, every day." With cheers erupting once more, Mia hugged Ginger tightly, feeling her golden fur blend with the warmth of newfound friendships. They had created something beautiful, a family. A community rising above judgment to celebrate the simple joy of being together. It was magic. Mia had never felt more connected or empowered. Today had been just the beginning of so much more. She was ready for whatever came next, knowing that with Ginger by her side, they could face anything together. And as she looked around the park filled with laughter and barking, something deep inside her whispered this was home. Now, if you felt inspired by Mia's journey and the importance of community, you need to subscribe to the channel right now. This is the moment to show your support, so don't wait, not even one more second. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm, and comment how you felt about Mia's incredible transformation. And share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this amazing story of love and connection. Let's spread the joy together.